The latest GMC SUV to receive a makeover is the 2025 Terrain, which holds up the compact end of the truck maker's lineup. In addition to all-new sheet metal, the Terrain receives a new headlamp design that mimics the larger Yukon SUVs. Like the previous generation model, the new Terrain shares a platform with the Chevrolet Equinox. The Terrain will begin a new generation for the 2025 model year, complete with a bolder look and modern features. The Terrain is a two-row SUV with seating for 5. Its interior design blends rugged themes from elsewhere in GMC's truck lineup with plenty of convenience features and technology, as a vertically oriented 15.0-inch infotainment touchscreen takes up big real estate on the dashboard. All models come with heated seats, a heated steering wheel, and remote start. Interior materials look decent in photos, but we'll reserve judgment until we can sample the Terrain for ourselves. A large 15.0-inch infotainment touchscreen is standard across the lineup and runs GM's latest Google-based interface. Navigation is available through the Google Maps app, and owners can add more apps of their choice by downloading them to the system via a 5G data connection. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard, and all models also get an 11.0-inch digital gauge display. It's good that the Terrain's tech game is strong because the rest of the interior is kind of meh. It's definitely a case of function over form here, which we suppose is fine for a compact SUV, but the material quality of the prototypes we checked out was a little drab. It features a floating volume knob adhered to the screen and a row of hard buttons along its bottom edge for climate control. All Terrains get a soft, stitched trim material on the dash, doors, and center console with bright chrome accents running across the dash and doors as well. It feels reasonably upscale in the Elevation model, but with the added leather and contrasting colors available in the Denali variant, it starts to look like a Lincoln Corsair competitor, if a grossly underpowered one. Another plus, the last-gen Terrain's dorky push/pull buttons that served as a shifter are binned in favor of a column-mounted stock. Dimensionally, it grows 2.1 inches in width and about a half inch in height, with track widths also broadening by nearly 2 inches. This helps lend a broader stance, but most of that width was apportioned to styling. Shoulder and hip dimensions only wiggle less than an inch, and passenger space remains about the same. Cargo space behind the rear seat is virtually unchanged. Cargo space behind the rear seats also looks generous, but when we get a chance, we'll load the Terrain with our carry-on suitcases for our cargo space test and update this story with details. Beyond that, there's still quite a bit we don't know about the new Terrain. It looks a bit taller and wider, but GMC hasn't shared specifics regarding dimensions or any changes to the chassis. The entry-level Elevation trim comes first, replacing SLE and SLT and reaching dealerships in late 2024. At 4 and Denali will arrive next year as 2026 models, offering more features, more luxury, and on at 4, more off-road upgrades. The 2025 Terrain will go on sale in late 2024 as a 2025 model, offered only in Elevation AWD trim at first. The standard front drive/CVT option is expected in February, followed shortly by the AT4 and Denali variants, which will arrive as 2026 models. Stay tuned as we near the on-sale date for definitive pricing info and a drive opportunity to better gauge whether the poshness gap between the Equinox and Terrain has increased, and how well it's justified by the pricing gap.